We're only in week 8 of the NFL season, but some teams dreams dashed, hopes down the drain, already looking ahead to the 2023 NFL draft. The Minnesota Vikings, not among them. And ESPN does like math and stuff, something called the ESPN Football Power Index, blah, 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 blah. So they project the 2023 NFL draft order, and it's based on winning percentage and projections and future stuff. It really doesn't matter. But we're going to take a look at the current projected 2023 NFL draft order, see where the Vikings are, see where some of the other teams are. It's good times, man. And remember, there's only 31 picks in this year's first round because the Dolphins are like, hey, Brady and Sean Payton, hit us up. Maybe not so much. So the Lions, they're back to being the low energy Detroit Lions. Now, I gave them a stay from the nickname, but they're back. So the low energy Lions, 1-5. They average after their chance to earn the number 1 overall pick, 34.8%. So they're probably going to be in the market for a quarterback. Could be C.J. Stroud, could be Bryce Young, could be whatever. I mean, this is going to be a pretty good Hendon Hooker. This is going to be a pretty good quarterback draft class. So, I mean, Detroit, this is probably the best situation for Detroit because I think that Dan Campbell is going to be fired. They have a lot of talent on both sides of the ball, especially in the trenches, but they just need that quarterback. Jared Goff is not it. Number 2, so this wasn't what's interesting with the Steelers, where their season is cratering, but they need to find out if Kenny Pickett is the guy. They spend a first-round pick on him, or are they going to Josh Rosen him and take another quarterback? It's certainly possible here. The Texans definitely would be in the market for a quarterback. Davis Mills, I don't think, is the guy. Now, Seattle is in an interesting spot because they certainly could use a quarterback of the future, but also, I mean, I'm not going to say they're going to roll with Geno. I'm not saying that, man, but this is one of the draft picks that they got from the Russell Wilson trade. So the Seahawks right now are leading the NFC West, and because the Broncos are cratering, they have the number 4 overall pick in the draft, which is just amazing. It's amazing, man. Number 5, we got the Carolina Panthers at 2-5. Obviously, they would be in the market for a quarterback. Most of these teams at the top of the draft, you're seeing a trend. It's like, they could probably use a quarterback. 6, you got the Eagles. Now, Howie Roseman, so this is part of the Chauncey Gardner-Johnson trade where since the Saints are absolutely booty and the Eagles are 6-0, they have the best record in the National Football League, and then they're still in the top 6 right now. And this pick could get even better. So they have an outside chance per their numbers of making this the number 1 overall pick, 5%. So one time in 20, the Eagles are going to be on the clock at 1. Now, they probably wouldn't draft a quarterback. They could trade down. Will Anderson on this team would be absolutely studly. Chance of a top 5 pick, 34%. So one time in 3, they're going to be in the top 5, which is just gross. But, of course, the Eagles are going to lose in the NFC title game to the Vikings, so that's okay. 7, the Colts. Yeesh. Colts definitely could use a quarterback. The Texans, this is the pick via the Browns. Now, the Browns season is not going according to Hoyle either. So, of course, this is part of the Deshaun trade. So the Texans could end up with 2 extremely high draft picks and maybe enough ammunition to move all the way up to 1, depending on who gets the number 1 spot, if they go quarterback or not. 9, the Bears. I think that they might roll with Justin Fields for another year, even though Ryan Poles did not draft Justin Fields, but maybe he'll show enough to be like, we'll see. Maybe we'll draft the lineman. Who knows? But they're still in the top 10. Jaguars at 10. Now, this is an interesting spot because they got Trevor Lawrence, and they have a ton of talent on both sides of the ball. Is this a trade-down spot? Could be. 11, you got the Commies. Yeah, I mean, there's like 17 quarterbacks that are going to be taking this first round so far. So the Commies at 11, you got the Patriots at 12. Patriots starting to get high up there. Now, are they going to build around Bailey Zappi? And also, could they trade Mac Jones for some significant draft capital? Like, could they swindle the Colts at the trade deadline to trade them their first rounder or second rounder minimum? Who knows? 13, Seahawks have their own pick. Again, it's interesting right now because they're not factoring. Oh, because this is a projection. This is not like what the current would be since they are leading the NFC West. But see, their average. Chance of a top 5 pick, 6%. Yeah, we'll see. Lions, this is a pick via the Rams. Rams aren't doing so hot right now. This is part of the Stafford, Jared Goff trade. The Cardinals are at 15, Falcons at 16, Raiders at 17, Tennessee Titans. Now, you got the greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers all the way in the back of the pack. So they expect the Packers to, pun intended, so they expect the Packers to get off the mat, and being at 20, that would be in the playoff places. So they expect the Packers to just get things together magically and then secure a wild card spot. Okay. Okay. Even though we've looked at the Packers schedule, like they're obviously going to lose 4 in a row up in Buffalo, and then they could have a tough time. But again, even the analytics has the bias towards the greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers. Okay, sure, John. I think it's more likely that the Packers end up in the top 15 than they make the playoffs. I think that's the case. The Dolphins in at 21. Now, this pick is from the Niners, part of the Trey Lance trade up. It's not their own draft pick. So they're sitting at 21. Jets, Jets. I love it. For the first time in forever where the Jets aren't just sitting in the top 5, just like, whatever. Help me. The Bucks, they expect the Bucks to get off the mat. Okay. Ravens, sure. Bengals, yes. Ooh. The Giants are projecting to go far, but the Vikings sitting at 27. Now, this is a little bit low, and by low, I mean the Vikings are going to be drafting a lot later than this. So basically, they're saying, let's see, what are they saying? Basically, they're saying that the AFC title game is going to be Bills-Chiefs. Yes. And then the NFC title game is going to be Cowboys-Eagles. Baloney. And then the Vikings would bomb out in the divisional round. Baloney. Absolute baloney. But I think this is relatively close. I mean, obviously, the Chiefs and the Bills won't be 30-31 or whatever because it'll be AFC, NFC in the Super Bowl, but it's really interesting. So I like that their numbers project that the Vikings are going to go deep this season, but they're probably going to end up at 31. No big deal. So this is a unique year since the Dolphins lost their first-round pick. It's like, hey, we're going to be drafting at 32. Now, if you're drafting at 32, that means that you suck and you have the number 1 overall pick. You want to be drafting at 31. Something to keep in mind. But that's it. Let's take a look at ESPN's 2023 projected NFL draft order. The Lions gunning for that number 1 spot. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.